Parshas Vayechi, Shabbos Chazak. Could you believe it's already the end of Seder Bereshis? Seems like it was just Simchas Torah. We talked about the special time of the year, coming to learn about the Avos, the Mois, the Shvatim, and here we are, the last Parsha in Seder Bereshis. And next week already we're in Mitzrayim. It's a whole different learning. It's a whole different look at the Torah. And we have to just make sure, as we mentioned when we were beginning Bereshis, that we take the lessons, the beautiful lessons of Nesivos Shalom that we've learned over the past couple of months while we were going through Seder Bereshis, try to remember some of them, at least a little bit, that it should help us grow, help us change. And in this week's Parsha, one of the things that we speak about are the Birchas Yaakov. Yaakov Avinu is about to depart the world, and he calls his children together, and we know, Chazal tell us that Yaakov Avinu wanted to reveal actually the time of the Geula Asida, the time of when Mashiach will come. And as we all know, that the Shekhinah went away from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu was not able to give over that information. And really, part of the Birchas Yaakov, the Shuascha Kivisi Hashem, we speak about the future Yeshuos in Klal Yisrael. We allude to the times, so many of the things in Birchas Yaakov. You know, anybody who's Mavasedra, if you do Shnai Mikra Vechatargum, and actually, if you haven't been so good about it during Seder Bereshis, next week, Seder Shemois, Rashi Tevois, Shin Mem Vav Saf, Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum. It's a great time to start. Just look ahead. Don't worry about making up what happened before. If you missed, beautiful time to start in Parsha Shemois. And in Parsha Shemois, we begin to speak about Geulas Mitzrayim. And now, during someone who learns Shnai Mikra Targum in Parshas Vayechi, you read the Targum, it's unbelievable. So many other places, and most of the Torah, when you read the Targum, so those of us who've been being Mavasedra for many, many years already, so you know the words that translate words of the Torah. But in this week's Parsha, it's full of just opening up, totally not translating the psukim, telling us, the Targum is telling us what Yaakov Avinu is speaking about, different things that will happen in the future. Fascinating, fascinating. And one of the things that the themes is the times of Mashiach. The Gemara, Masechta Shabbos, Daf Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph, tells us that B'shah shemachnisim Adam Ladin La'achar Misa, after 120 years, people get up, you get up to Shemayim. When you come up there, they're right away going to give you a quiz. You want to know if there's going to be a quiz? There's going to be a quiz. And not only is there going to be a quiz, but I'm going to give you the questions now, so you could study. That when the Gemara says, when a person gets up there after 120 years, shoyel en oisai, they ask you, and I'm going to tell you what they're going to ask you. Nosasa v'nosata be'amuna. Pashut pshat in that, and we'll explain a little different pshat in that soon, is, did you do your business dealings honestly? Were you honest? Were you an honest person? Were you honest in business? Next question. Kavati itim la Torah. So you had to make a parnasa for your family. You weren't able to sit and learn day and night. Kavati itim la Torah. Did you make sure that every day, every night you have a Seder? Did you make sure that that Seder was with a kvias? Kavati itim la Torah? That's the next question. And the third question is, tzipisa Yeshua? Were you mitzapeh for the Yeshua? Waiting for Mashiach to come? These are the three questions that a person is going to be asked. So really, on the first couple of things that you're asked, the first things, what happens is, the question about Emunah, right? The first thing we want to know, Nasatav and Nasatav Emunah, Nesivos Shalom tells us something very interesting. It doesn't just include, did you do your business dealings be'emunah, did you do it honestly? Nesivos Shalom tells us it actually includes the question of Nasasav and Nasata be'emunah. Did you go through the sugya of emunah? Was emunah b'Hashem part of your life? Were you oisik in the inyan of emunah the way you're oisik in your business? Did you concentrate on it the way you would concentrate on your business matters, where our entire self, where your entire self and your capabilities and your talents, were they used to try to grow in emunah the same way you use all those things to grow in your business? Nasasav and Nasata be'emunah. Did you think and go through the sugya of emunah and make sure that your life revolves around emunah b'Hashem? And it's with the same dedication that you would do your business and the same energy you should really be involved with emunah in your life. Emunah has to take up a tremendous part of your life. And that we can understand, says Nesivos Shalom, why it's the first question. It's the first question because emunah is that fundamental and such a fundamental part of your life. That's what you're going to be asked. Did you deal in business honestly? And was emunah a big part of your life? Did you concentrate on emunah and understand that everything comes from Hashem? Everything is being run by Hashem. Was that for every Jew, that should be the big part of your life, a big question? And were you oisik in that? And really, so we understand why a person after 120 is going to be asked about emunah. And the next question we can really also understand, because Torah is everything. Torah is the whole world. The world stands on Torah. The world stands on Limudat Torah. So when you come up there, they're going to ask you, Kavati itim LaTorah? Were you serious about what really keeps the world going? Did you have a Seder during the day? Did you have a Seder at night? So those are two fundamental things. But what about the third question? Number one, emunah. Number two, limudat Torah. Number three, tzipisa Yeshua. What does that mean? That you were looking forward, that you were waiting. You were waiting for Yeshua. You were waiting for Geula. You were waiting for Mashiach. So the Smak actually says an interesting answer to this question. And he says, you know why tzipisa Yeshua is one of the questions you're going to be asked right away after 120? Because tzipisa Yeshua is part of emunah. And just like a person needs to believe, as we're going to say in the next few weeks, just like a person needs to believe and remember that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, so every person is expected to have emunah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do it for us again. You see all the things going on in the world, and right now we're living in a generation where in front of our eyes we're watching the pieces of Geula just opening up in front of us. We have to just open our eyes and understand that it's happening. But do you believe? You believe in Yetzias Mitzrayim? Do you believe that this is going to happen again? V'hu yashnienu barachamav shenis. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to hear us, and He's going to do it for us. He did it for us by Mitzrayim, and He's going to do it for us again, and He's going to take us out of this Golus. The Rambam tells us that Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, the beginning of the S.S.S. Hadibros, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha asher hotzeisecha me'eretz Mitzrayim, the Rambam tells us that that is the mitzvah of emunah. And included in that mitzvah is the fact that Hashem will gather us once again. Today, coming up, Hashem is going to gather us once again and take us out of this Golus. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that once we're speaking about this pasuk of Anochi Hashem Elokecha asher hotzeisecha me'eretz Mitzrayim in the S.S.S. Hadibros, we need to understand that this pasuk is really telling us two things. The first thing is emunah. Anochi Hashem, that is emunah. That's straight etzem emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we have to have. And then, in addition to that, says in Nesivos Shalom, in addition to that, is the next word, Elokecha. First, Anochi Hashem, you have to have emunah b'Hashem. But then you also have to believe that Hashem is Elokecha. That Hashem is not just God, He's your God. And Hashem doesn't just love people, He loves you as an individual. Hein go'alti eschem liyois lochem lelekin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are His child. And you are a person that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to take out of Golus. And He will never forsake you. And He will take you out of Golus. And every person has to believe that. And that is the question of Tzipisa liyeshua. Did you believe that the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the Yidden out of Mitzrayim a few thousand years ago, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you, and He will take care of you, and He will take you out of Golus. And that's why these questions, all related to Emunah, these questions, Tzipisa liyeshua, is one of the first questions you're going to be asked, because it's fundamental and an essential part of Emunah. And just like you're asked, Nosasov and Nasata be'emunah, just like you're asked that question, you're going to be asked the same way. Tzipisa liyeshua. Did you believe that that was part of Emunah? Did you believe that when you see events happening around you in Eretz Yisrael, when you see horrifying things going on all around you, do you understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is talking to us? And He's telling us that if we want the Geula to come, we have to study the events that go on around us. And the Nesivos Shalom says that we could take this even a step further. That along with Emunah, that Hashem created everything. You ask a person, do you believe? Yeah, I believe. Along with believing that Hashem created everything in the world. And also that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even after everything was created, is manhig l'chol habaruim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs everything every single day of your life, and nothing happens without Hashem. Along with all of that comes the understanding that, of course, Hashem, we have to understand, Hashem did not create the world without a purpose. And it has to be. It's apparent, and we all know that it can't be that the purpose of this world is Olam Hazeh. It can't be that the purpose of the world is the luxuries and this world that's full of taivas and full of tzaras. The same way we believe Hashem created the world and runs the world, we also understand that Hashem did not create the world for what we see going around us here in Olam Hazeh. The purpose of this world is at the end of the line, it's going to be Umala Haaretz De'as Hashem. That the purpose of this world is at the end of time, when Mashiach is going to come, everyone's going to recognize that everything in the world is about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And although we have no idea how that can come and how that can be born from this world that's going on around us right now, this world of Olam Hazeh, we are maimin that Hashem will orchestrate everything some way to get to that day. That the day will be soon that we're going to see Hashem Echad, Ushmoy Echad, that by Yoimahu, on that day, Yeh Hashem Echad, Ushmoy Echad, and that is Tzipisa liyeshua. That means, that understanding, that emunah, that's the question that we're all going to be asked. So I gave you the questions to the quiz. It's Shabbos Chazak. What does Shabbos Chazak mean? We're finishing Seder Bereshis. Shabbos Chazak means we have to get chizuk, we have to mischazik ourselves to believe that despite everything we see all around us, we need to believe that the Yeshua is on the way. And I don't know if there's ever been a time, not to just base everything on current events, but the events happening in the world and the anti-Semitism, we never realized for many, many years, you haven't realized or have had to realize that there's nothing but HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and only HaKadosh Baruch Hu can save us, and only HaKadosh Baruch Hu can take care of us, and Hashem will lead us to the Geula. And that's it, Shabbos Chazak. Let's get chizuk from this. Let us all believe that it's all about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let us understand what Emunah is. Let us understand Tzipisa liyeshua means, are we concentrating on Emunah, and the Shataka be a schus for us, and we should all be Zoicha very soon, that on that day, by Yoimahu Yihiyeh, Hashem Echad, U'Shemo Echad.